I gotta tell ya, it's a lot easier playing these games when you actually have the controller plugged in. But never mind any of that. We have the W box key. Increments that I'm about to ditch, the valve handle that I'm lugging around with me, possibly for no good reason whatsoever at this point. I do recall back... wrong button. I do recall back... where we came from, there was a sort of a flare gun, and I kept wondering whether you can just light that using a lighter. It's a remote possibility, but if I had to take a guess, I would suppose you need to load a flare or something. If it turns out to be a waste of time, then so be it, but I think I'll go back with a lighter and check whether you can actually use that. Yes! Oh my goodness, I was right! Well, that didn't accomplish anything, did it? It looks like a flare gun, it's already been used. I have no idea what I've accomplished, but I did have the right idea. I almost was too lazy to try it out, figuring out presumably it's not enough to have a lighter. Presumably you need to load up a flare, maybe you need a separate key. But then I figured maybe the key I found is the one, but I think I've also checked that one immediately upon finding it, so I don't know anymore. Either way, since the corridors have been cleared out, it wasn't the most difficult of tasks. Alright, now that I've used the lighter, I was about to say used up the lighter, not necessarily. Can ditch it. What else do I have? What else do I need? What else do I want? There's so many weapons I have at my disposal and so few inventory slots to use them. I kind of feel like I shouldn't even bother lugging around the spark shot. I don't know, you take out the G's with it from what I recall, that's what it's for, at least in the remake, but how about we read the description? High voltage gun to repel experimental animals. Experimental animals, yes. It uses spark shot rounds and has a range of 10 feet. That's a lot of feet. That's about 3 meters. You aim the blasted thing, then you fire and presumably you hold the fire button, zapping the thing. Actually, do you... I don't know. They did not give me any more instructions on the subject. I could hypothetically lug around the pistol, but it's so much weaker than the bow gun, it's just not worth it. The pistol can send the zombie dogs flying, but other than that, it doesn't really work well on regular zombies. Whereas the bow gun has immense stopping power, immense knockback on the target. So might as well roll with that. We are over here in the vacant factory on the first floor, and we are about to progress. Might as well get ready to slay some zombies. If we encounter anything powerful, I will try to use a spark shot. Alright. Open the door. Okay, I have my doubts now. Should I just take everything with me? Are we in for a boss fight? Oh, will you take the handgun bullets? I did not see them there, but fair enough. I had an inkling, I may as well click around to see what I can find. Give me the map. It's a factory map. Will you take it? Absolutely. Oh. Well, that's literally it. Nothing down, nothing up, nothing that I can navigate to, really. Huh. Well. Got a really bad feeling about this. However, I don't think we are that near the end. I think instead that we're just gonna descend into the bowels of the earth. Yes, one would expect us to inspect an underground secret lab and such. You know, where Ned Birkin works for the most part. But should I ready myself for a boss fight? Should I ditch the keys, get a weapon, maybe some healing? I'm ditching the valve. Maybe I should take a first aid spray instead. The box key, ditching that. How many weapons does a man need? How much stuff can I possibly use off? Even in a boss fight. Tell you what, a grenade launcher with 9 nades loaded ought to be enough to handle most things. If it's not enough, well, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not saving. Redoing this should be trivial. Fire flow, pick up ammo. Done. What are you? Presumably this allows us to descend. I honestly don't know what to make of this, because on one end it would... No. I'm desperately trying to divine what lies up ahead, if anything, because it feels like this very well could be the very tail end, but then again, presumably it's not, because you'd expect a lab section. This needs a key, right? Seems to be a control device for the turntable. There's a keyhole. Yeah, I figured I needed a key. Can't leave Sherry alone. Sherry, I kinda need the key. So if you would just follow me. Sherry, I'm here. Sherry, please. Come on. You are the world's worst peekaboo player, I swear. I'm right here. Right here. Whenever you feel like it, come on. I swear, trying to drag Sherry anywhere is the best argument for a child-free lifestyle. Alright, I have a lot of stuff. Sherry? Please, come on, Sherry, come on. I'm right here. Escort missions aren't annoying. Annoying escort missions are annoying. Anyone inside? I'm ready to fire. I could shoot, you know. Well, that's quiet. Maybe we'll find a box that contains a key and that requires a key. Will you take the flame rounds? I will, and I have. This does not bode well. Something's glittering over there. Not all that glitters is What? You can't carry any more items? Gee, you think? Presumably we need the D key from inside to use on the outside. In which case, what do we use the W key for? Can you miss it? Have I missed the thing you used the W key on? The W box. Sherry. Sherry, please. Well... Ditching this, ditching the extra nades. And the extra healing, we don't need the healing. This ought to be enough, okay. Let's try this one more time. We go over here. Sherry, I swear, get back here. Okay, we go inside. We retrieve the key. The C panel key. A key to activate the control panel. Letter D is engraved. I have no idea what this is supposed to signify, but fair enough. Will you push the Yes. All aboard! Okay.
Claire, my stomach. My stomach hurts.
Of course we're going to the lab to save her.
Hang in there, Sherry. Her forehead's burning up. I've got to hurry before the embryos pupate.
Well, Claire, there's not much you will be able to do from inside here. I'm afraid we'll have to go outside and address the zombie threat. Start out with the nade launcher. Security panel. In case of an emergency, the red light will turn on, and access from outside will be prohibited for a limited time. Have I... This is a boss fight, isn't it? Okay, I'm here. As far as I understand it, I won't be able to return back, but... yeah, return back. That's the only way you return. I won't be able to go back to Sherry. Presumably, once I've locked that, she'll be safe in there. I will try to stay safe out here, and we'll presumably have to fight Birkin for the first time on this descending platform. Hi. I don't like tight confined spaces. Run! Alright. I knew there was a boss fight coming. Well, that wasn't the best of ideas, now was it? Well, that was the exact wrong angle. You gotta... I'm going to die here the first time around, and there's basically nothing I can do about it. Damn it. Yeah, especially since she significantly slows down when she's horribly, brutally, gruesomely injured. I would love to use the spark shot, but... Alright. I have checked and I understand now how the spark shot works. It works completely differently than it works in the remake. The remake makes it significantly more difficult to use. Because first, you have to aim. As you do in this game, you have to aim everything. You can't just fire on spot. Then you have to shoot and you have to have the electrodes connect. Then you have to keep the electrodes connected by not moving further away from the target than the maximum distance. Then you charge the thing up and you let go of charging up the moment you want to actually fire, and then you fire and deal the damage. At any point you could just let go of the aiming, at which point you effectively waste the entire thing, I think. Well, maybe it just fires at whatever charge you had up until that point, I'm not sure. But either way, you have to know which button to let go of, because you're holding the button to aim, and then you're holding the button to shoot as it's charging up. You don't tap the button to shoot, because then you deal next to nothing. You hold the button to shoot, and then you don't let go of the button to hold, because then presumably nothing will happen. You let them go in the reverse order of pressing them. So last first. Last in, last pressed, first let them go off, whatever. Anyway, I got some healing, I've got the bow gun, I've got the spark shot, I should be able to deal with Mr. Birkin. Don't you toss pipes at me? Sound effects here are ludicrous. Run! Ow. I just needed one more shot, really? I didn't. I needed even more. Can't see you, buddy. Are you stuck on scenery? Yeah, she's in caution, but I'm gonna use a full charge of healing. An entire first aid spray. It takes a decent bit. Actually, it's not even halfway discharged, but yeah. It takes a while, you have to run around him. And odds are, if you don't do that properly, you're gonna get hit. Not sure how to do that neatly without receiving any damage. Maybe, just maybe, you need to pause every single bit of the way and then discharge. But once again, the static camera is making things incredibly annoying. Let's go back to Sherry. I'm fascinated by the advanced danger detection algorithm over here. The fact that you can just detect, oh, Mr. Birkin is outside.
Sherry.
Sorry. You'll have to carry her to the lab. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, I was about to say, it said I had the factory map. Does this really count as the factory? Or, sorry, narrate.
Claire? Oh, you're finally awake. Isn't this... That's okay. You keep it. I'm sure it'll keep you safe.
Thank you, Claire. Even though I'm an only child, neither of my parents ever spent much time with me because of their work.
Understandable.
I grew up alone, but now that you're with me, I finally have someone to rely upon.
Sherry. Rest here for a bit. I'll be right back, as soon as I found the antidote for you.
Once again, all of these things make perfect logical sense, and you'd presumably want to have the characters express these thoughts, but this is such an awkward, unidiomatic way of phrasing these things, and the information comes up at the most bizarre of times and in the most awkward of ways. But yes, we know all of these things, I guess. But yes, obviously you can see that Claire has changed outfits because she has wrapped her precious little jacket over Sherry. It's a significantly more touching, emotional scene in the remake, with all the significance tied to the jacket, the idea that it brought her luck, that it was a gift from her brother, etc. You know. Still, obviously, we get the gist, don't we? We're over here. I was about to ask about the lab versus the factory, because if we got the map for the factory and, well, there was nothing more to the factory, I don't know what to tell you at that point. Actually, where are we? Laboratory, basement level 4. Okay, so the map for the factory got us absolutely nothing. By the time we got the map, there was nothing to reveal. Or was there? That's an interesting question, because for all I know, that key to the box was a key to a box that was relevant up there in the factory. Maybe I've gone beyond the point of no return, and maybe there's something I've missed. But then again, I have a lot at this point, don't I? Finding the spark shot was particularly amazing. I don't know if it was particularly effective against Birkin, but it doesn't matter. Also, I don't know about that flare gun. Was it supposed to show me that there was some place else to go if I were to use the cable car? I don't know. Once again, I don't know. I'm trying my best here, but there are just some things I do not know. You'll take the flame rounds, gladly. I'm trying to be reasonably thorough, but at some point... Security manuals. At some points, things may become unintuitive for me. Right, we're leaving Sherry here. I might as well save after the boss fight as soon as I'm done with inventory management. I have 4 ink ribbons, which is plenty. I just need 1 to save after all. Oh, I'm sorry, I have 6 ink ribbons. Of course I got 2 more. But because I'm playing on this incredible difficulty level, I only get 2 ink ribbons every single time instead of getting, you know, 3 every single time I find ink ribbons. It's incredible. They're very generous. Security room. Got it. Ditching the ribbons. Do I actually take all of this? Do I lug around the spark shot with me? I don't know. I have all of these questions. I don't need these things for the most part. Maybe I should take the key on the off chance that I need to use it. I don't know about the flame rounds and such. This seems like an awful lot. 3 weapons plus the associated ammo for a whopping total of 6 slots taken just by weapons? How many? Oh. Well, if I can load 24 flaming rounds into the grenade launcher, I think I'll be content with that. Yeah, let's roll with this. We're over here. We'll presumably never be going back up, but who knows? There are 4 exits, hypothetically. We could hypothetically get back on the platform. We can go to where Sherry is. We can go over here, down the main shaft, and then there's the path ahead. Presumably only one of them is accessible. If I had to guess, this one's going to be inaccessible. An elevator. Pressing the button has no effect. Hasn't been used for a long time. I need to have the bow gun equipped though. Plenty of zombies will be incoming soon enough, won't they? Oh, this seems familiar, doesn't it? Yeah, but the basement level fall was the very tail end of things, and over here, presumably, we'd be going from the bottom up? I don't know. A huge breaker system that regulates all the power in the lab. The main fuse has been removed and the power is not active in some areas. Let me guess, they would expect me to backtrack if I have not found the W box key. Red or blue? Red? We'll presumably have to search these areas, find a way to power the elevator. I haven't seen zombies in a while. Come on, now would be the time. West area. Yes, that follows. Can we go through here? It's a shutter switch. Will you push it? Not yet. Alright. If only there was a legible sign here. 2 doors over here, a door on the other end, another door. Let's go through this. What do you see, Claude? What do you see? Actually, what is this? Laboratory security manual. Laboratory security manual. Security measures in case of an emergency. In the form of a manual. In the instance of an uncontainable biohazardous breakout, all security measures will be directed toward the underground transport facility. In the instance that any abnormalities are detected among cargo in transit, all materials will automatically be transported from the landing zone to the designated high-speed train. Why? At which point all materials will be isolated and disposed of immediately. Okay, abnormalities in transit, materials will be transported from loading zone to high-speed train and disposed of. In the instance of a Class 1 emergency, the entire train will be purged and disposed of without delay. In the instance that the lab itself becomes contaminated, the northernmost route currently used to transport materials to and from the facility will be designated as an emergency escape route. The northernmost route is for the transport of materials. The route will secure passage to the relay points outside the city limits. That's how we're getting out. Disclosure about any information regarding research conducted here or the existence of this facility is strictly prohibited since it is top priority to keep all research classified. Escape access may be denied under certain extenuating circumstances. Even if there's an emergency and you're about to die, we may possibly prevent you from doing that if we want to keep our secrets. Okay, you slithering monstrosity, what are you? Where are you? Will you take the bowgun? Yes, I will. Bowgun bolts. I hate that. Temporary user registration. Temporary user registration. For the culture experiment room. Okay, username guest. Password none. Valid for 24 hours. I think we'll manage. Oh. Tentacles. Our research is bad. Yes. How are you doing there, buddy? Don't tell me you're gonna get an up. Are you one of the herbies, as I like to call them? That's your scopes. Looks like he poured oil all over the place. Yes, he did. Presumably we need to set this on fire! Yes! Kill it with fire! In which case, I'll need the lighter again. Okay, so the northern route is the exit. Red is west, white is north. Whoa! Ah. Whoa! Okay. How about eat flaming death? Okay, stop walking into a wall. Just come over here and die. That was pathetic. I don't know, he's still twitching. Maybe he's just clipping. I don't know, I have a lot of ammo, I don't need to worry about this nonsense. Yeesh. What did I come here to get anyway? Ah yes, a lighter. I think I have enough stuff on me to handle whatever emergencies occur. Where did they even come from? I dread to imagine what happens when you open the shutters. Maybe the plant monstrosity just charges at you. You don't need to use this right now. I beg to differ. But the man used oil! Oh, well. I was wondering whether that would work. Look, I was figuring, okay, I might get too close. Okay, that also puts out the fire, great. I figured I might get too close, the tentacle is gonna get me, and I'll find out the hard way that you're not actually supposed to set the oil on fire. That there's some other solution to this puzzle. But no, you just have to get close enough to the puddle to set it ablaze. Which is not the way it should be. As I've said on quite a few occasions, and presumably, as I'll keep on saying more and more often, the older games I tend to play, if you know the solution in this sort of game, it shouldn't require that sort of pinpoint perfection. You shouldn't have to pixel hunt. The game should just gracefully accept your input. The moment you know what you need to do, the game should just let you execute it. At the very least, it should give you a hint. Oh no, I didn't want to do that! No, don't! Well, that's, Okay, never mind. We got here. There's two of them, but guess what I have? This thing. The grenade launcher with flaming rounds. 2 shots and they're done. And she's still fine. Okay, they're done. Is this a ladder? Looks like a ladder to me. The interior has been destroyed by the plant. We'll take the encrypt. Really? These machines are all useless now. Okay, doll has been locked from the other side previously. Now I have unlocked it. Destroyed these abominations. And what is this, pray tell? Oh, you can't carry any more items. Lovely. We should presumably get rid of the spark shot until the next boss fight. Was there anything else in that room? Might as well check one last time. Because after this point, I don't plan on coming back here ever again. Unless I see, this is... This looks like something that could be of use. He's clutching... No, it's a canister. Of course, it's a canister. It's not a briefcase. Sorry. Of course. Well, in that case, never mind. You can also get rid of poison effects over here because we have the blue herbs. That's one reason why you might possibly want to come back to this room. Not that we ever will. Alright, I'll come back to the other room because I want to retrieve the additional grenade rounds. I don't feel particularly comfortable about any of this because I feel like we're going to need that key any day now. But yeah, I guess in the grand scheme of things, I'm very confident we will not need the spark shot anytime soon. We might want to and need to set things on fire. So the lighter makes sense. The ink ribbons I'll obviously combine with the other ones. For a whopping total of 7 of them right now. Incredible. Let's head back to retrieve the additional grenade rounds. Haven't saved in a hot second, but I don't need to. I'm perfectly fine. We've almost entirely explored the West Wing. I don't know whether we have access to the East Wing or not. I haven't actually bothered to check, but... doesn't really make that much of a difference now, does it? If we didn't before and need to retrieve something from here first, well, I'm about to do that. Grenade rounds, yes! We'll take grenade rounds. Am I taking this away from Leon in the future? Because that would be terrible. Then I would have basically nothing. I sincerely hope that's not the way this game plays out, that if you just loot the place, you leave nothing for Leon and he's just completely helpless. He's gonna knife everything to death. Well, I would hope that's not the case, but who knows. Alright, that has been dealt with. The shutter is still firmly in place. Press the button. No response, the power is not supplied. That tracks. That indeed makes sense. In that case, the only place we can effectively go at this juncture is the East Wing. Yes, as we have explored every part of the West Wing except for the part that we can't explore. In the north we haven't gone to the elevator, but we can't access the elevator, so this is the only door accessible right now. I'll switch to the bow gun for now. If I need to switch to the grenade launcher, I shall do so. Duh. West Wing, path to the right and to the left. Shutter sealed firmly in place. Yeah, we can't open this, can we? Shutter switch, will push it? Yes, but there's no response. Soon enough we'll have to fight the plant, won't we? I hope not yet. Door is opened with a key card. I don't have a key card, I have a regular key. I'm desperately and repeatedly pressing the button, hoping to find something. What is this? This is, the place where we cool the solution that deals with the plant? The cold room, I guess? Whatever you want to call it. Yes, but we don't have that yet. I hope she doesn't take damage for being out there in the cold. First aid spray, that just gunks up my inventory. Will you take the fuse case? And how was I supposed to see that? You just walk around and press the lowest button in existence, the use button, that's it. Looks like a computer for organizing data files. As opposed to other computers, yes. A control box used for super low temperature experiments. I could set the superconductor fuse here if I had a fuse case. I'm sorry, what? A case for industrial... It has been designed for superconductor fuses. Am I missing something? When they say fuse, do they actually mean a fuse? Is that sort of a canister container? That's not what I conceptualize as a fuse. We will take the main fuse. Hold on. As in an actual fuse. Why would you need to... What if I just... Like, how does that make any shred of sense? I don't understand. I mean, yeah, superconductivity requires certain... yes, well, yeah. If you... Right. If you cool conductors sufficiently well, you can achieve basically zero resistance. So I guess you could... But how does that relate to a fuse? Is the idea that I'm actually supposed to come to the lab, go to the super cooling lab, pick up that case, retrieve a fuse, and then mount it to restore electricity? That's how it's supposed to work? It made significantly more intuitive sense for me to just take some sort of a substance I used to kill the plant, and then super cool it, and then disperse it, but... Maybe I'm just complaining for the sake of complaining. I can restore the power to the lab with this. Okay. Get ready for all hell to break loose as soon as I do that, presumably. Also, if I understand the purpose of everything I have inspected so far correctly, we will never be coming back to this place either. Yeah, the only places I need the power for is the stuff that's to the south, whatever that is. And if I had to take a wild stab at it, I would guess the plant and the elevator to the north. Yeah, so presumably next up is a boss fight against either the plant or its little green friends. Yep. Need to put this in here. I have the power. And so does the lab. Excellent. Before we make even further progress, before I presumably face the plant on level 4, I am going to make a save. I should presumably heal her the tiniest of bits as well. I mean, she got injured, and I have more than enough healing anyway. I'm going to keep the lighter, since I will be dealing with plenty of flammable substances. I have no idea whether I still need this little valve handle. It's come in handy numerous times. But what I do know is that for now, I am going to just make a save. And I will thank you all so much for watching, and you will see me elsewhere.